It is day 318. Isn't that something? We are here and we are live, and my phone is crooked. Let's see if we can't somehow fix that a little bit. There we go. That's probably better. Slightly. Look at that. 5 a.m. on a Monday morning. 5 a.m. And we are about to get started with some strength and conditioning work this morning. How are you doing this morning? I hope you're doing all right. I'm doing fine. I slept well. We had a good weekend, and now we're ready for the week. Okay, and what we are going to do is we're going to have a good Monday, and then we're going to have a good Tuesday, and then we're going to have a good Wednesday, a good Thursday, a good Friday, a good Saturday, and a good Sunday. And it's going to be the end of November. And December is going to be here. Isn't that going to be fun? So the holiday season is upon us as well. In any case, friends, for those of you who are watching, my name's Toby. I am 40 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. Not only now, but also in the next 10 years, when I'm 50, when I'm 60, when I'm 70, when I'm 80. Who knows, I might even live to be a 90 or a bit older. Why is that important to me? Well, I've understood that if I manage to get that old, fortunate enough, I might have those last 5 or 10 years of my life riddled with disease and discomfort. But there are apparently things that we can do in our lifestyle earlier on to actually get more out of life as we age. So this Monday morning at 5 a.m., as every other day, I am going to be up and I am going to be training. And I work on my sleep, I work on my nutrition, I work on my strength training, conditioning training, and mobility. And all of that taken together, hopefully at least physically, will keep me good and going for a long time. So that's what I'm up to every morning here on this channel. If it's something you're interested in, you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and we can continue and have that conversation when you drop by. I always say this is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I think all and any kind of fitness and health goals are valid because fitness is super personal. And actually any training or fitness program should be catered to in the circumstances of your life, not just where you are in terms of health and fitness, but also to everything that's going around in your life besides that. I always like to remind myself that we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on, because it's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow, and we should just remember that and be a bit kind to ourselves, because kindness goes a long way in life. And that being said, I guess the only way to get anything done, friend, is by showing up and doing the work. So when you drop by to watch, go ahead and say hi. Let me know you're watching in the chat. And we're going to start the timer. We're going to start doing a little warm-up, and then we're going to get started. And it's an early Monday morning, but in a good way. We're just doing some mobility and movement preparation before we pick up the kettlebells. And this is always a good moment to just check in with the body in terms of how we're moving. And we're going to start off with a relatively simple exercise. And we're going to move on to heavier exercises, but if you're new to kettlebell, or just beginning, the first 10 to 15 minutes probably going to be good enough for you. All right. Let's do a bit of a deep sit, and then we're going to get started with some physical movements, beginning with deadlifts, some rows, two-handed cleans, two-handed overhead presses, and goblet squats. Just a couple of minutes. First with two hands, then with one hand, or with the 8 kilo, to get us started this morning, to get us on our way. In the meantime, if you start watching, you let me know where you're dialing in from. It's 8 minutes past 5 a.m. where I'm at, or 5 minutes past 5. So, it's a nice start of the morning over here. That was 1 minute. Now, we're going to combine all of that into a steady flow. Hello there, thanks for dropping by and saying hi. Appreciate that. And I hope you're doing well where you are in the world this morning. And it's nice of you to drop in and say hello. And let me know that I'm not alone in the universe today. And again, 5 times. We're still warming up. Doing a deadlift, row, press, squat, 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 deadlift, row, press, squat. We're going to switch to one hand this morning. Habibi, tryouts are over. Good night. Thank you very much. I hope you have a good night. And thanks for dropping by and saying hi. Habibi, what am I doing? Septa. Hello, Septa. Thanks for dropping by. Habibi, we are doing a kettlebell workout. And we're in the warm-up phase. So we're working on our strength and conditioning today. We're warming up with a light kettlebell, and we're going to keep moving on to heavier and heavier kettlebells as the training progresses. NVVR. I actually don't know what that is. I think I've seen a clip of that around. Anyway, Habibi, kettlebells are a great way to train strength and conditioning, both on both sides of our body and on one side of our body, because it allows us to do some pretty unique exercises. Last one on the side. And switching to the other side. There was time not so long ago where 8 kilos, the weight I'm holding now, was actually heavy for me. And now, through a year of training, it's become relatively easy compared to lifting all of the heavier weights that we have in kettlebell. The kettlebell training is fun and easy to do from home. All right, I'm going to do some kettlebell swings as well next. And I appreciate all of you dropping by and saying hi at 5:14 a.m. Alright. We are all warmed up. We're going to do swings and rows, alternating with a 20 kilo, two-handed, mind you. Ten swings. I do 10 rows on the left, next minute. 10 rows on the right, the next minute. And then again. Except halving weight shift. Yeah, I did it yesterday. That was you. Sorry, the handle reads differently in the comments than here. The halving weight shift was a good exercise, good addition. Let's see if I can get it into my routine tomorrow. I appreciate you taking the time to suggest an exercise you might think was useful to me. I really appreciate it. And do you do it yourself? By the way, this is both a back and a core exercise because the weight is trying to pull me down, and I obviously need to stabilize my body to make the movement properly. Eddie Spaghetti, good morning. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you're doing okay today. I hope you're having a good day where you are in the world. We are working on our strength and conditioning today, so slight step change from the last couple of weeks, which were more strength focused. And back to the rows. So I guess if I ever get famous on YouTube, it's going to be because of my trail running shorts that I use for kettlebell training. That's fine. 3. I'm always happy to see regular visitors on the channel that drop by and say hi. For anyone who new who's watching, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old. I train for a living an active, self-sufficient, adventurous life. And in order to do that, I mind my sleep, I mind what I eat. I do strength conditioning and mobility training. And you can follow my journey every day here on this channel with a morning live stream where we do one of those exercises. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And we can continue this conversation over time. I train with kettlebells predominantly when I'm at home, but I also do other kinds of training. I go running, pull-ups, push-ups, and mobility. And especially at 40 years old, I think the combination is paying off. When we talk about general journey of getting healthy and fit. Third set, 2 more to go after this. I'm going to do some dead cleans with this one and some squats. Before moving into different territory. So anyway, what an interesting and busy week ahead of me with a business trip. So in the last 3 days, it's going to be good, but I'm going to miss my family while I'm gone. And then it's off to next week, which is another busy week with a big event. So a lot needs to happen these weeks. And when a lot needs to happen in a week, there are 2 challenges. One, finding the focus to get it all done in the limited amount of working hours that we have. And 2, not snacking a ridiculous amount of snacks because of the stress that comes around when we become busy. So here we are. Okay, one more set of rows. You can see you can get quite a bit of work done in the 30 minutes we have to train. So it's going to be around about 5:30 in the morning now, Monday morning. And we're just going to keep going because we have things that need doing today. So how do I manage having enough focus and not snacking when I know it's going to be a stressful period at work? The answer is sleep. The better we sleep, the easier it is to control our impulses. And snacking is very often, for me, related to stress combined with a lack of sleep. It's one. And two, try to be mindful of the fact that I am stressed by acknowledging it to myself. And then, by acknowledging it, taking some control over what I can do about it. So in this case, also strategizing to, instead of reaching for a snack, reaching for a glass of water, which hits the mark in two ways. Which hits the mark in two ways. Helps me stay hydrated. When we're hydrated, we tend to eat a bit less. Two, it's a simple intervention into the habit of reaching for candy and eating it, or for snacks, and eating it, not candy, but any kind of snacks. Last set of rows, going on to cleans. And some other things. By the way, I'm going easy on the overhead work, just using the 8. My shoulder's feeling a lot better, but I do want to be mindful and not re-injure myself. Going to take a minute, And then we're going to go on to the dead cleans. Sing, sing. Thanks for dropping by. And I gotta say, let's try and be kind and respectful in the chat to each other, because I think we want to have a community of people who enjoy dropping by, talking about health and fitness, especially health and fitness at 40. And feel free to ask questions. So anyway, for those of you who are watching and are new to the channel, my name's Toby. I'm 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. And in order to do that, I do a couple of things. I try to mind my sleep every day. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours. Today was 7 hours and 15 minutes. And I've noticed that if I sleep 7 hours or more, I don't have dips around noon or 1, what we would mistakenly believe to be lunchtime dip, but it's just an indication that we haven't slept enough the night before. I mind what I eat. I mind what I eat. I try to stay within my energy balance, so to speak, so not to eat more than I actually use throughout the day, whether the day is active or not active, depending on what we do. And I work on my strength, my conditioning, and mobility. Today's strength and conditioning. Last 3 weeks, been a lot of strength. And on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, I usually work on my mobility. Now it's time to do some squats. And with the squats, especially weighted, I need to be mindful not to go too deep, because then we get the thing called the butt wink, where the bottom of my back, my hips turn inwards. So we try to go as deep as we can without letting the body or the mechanics of the movement change too much. 5:35. All right. 5 more with a 20 kilo. Sorry about banging the microphone. This is the reason. I want to get my headset repaired. For whatever reason, it is not working anymore. And if you're watching and you have any questions, about kettlebells or getting healthy and fitter at 40, go ahead and let me know in the chat. I'm always happy for a conversation and to talk and to hang out a little bit if we both have the time. I have the time this morning because I'm here. And you know, this week, if you've been watching my channel, you know we're going to start doing a challenge related to a glass of water. And the idea is that with the new year around the corner, we might want to start making some changes to our overall health and fitness. So what we can then try to do is try to create the habit of drinking one additional glass of water every day for 7 days. That's it. So that's going to tell us a lot, surprisingly, about our motivation, challenges we have with our motivation, but also how the structures of our life, our day-to-day, our demands, our responsibilities, commitments, and our skill of understanding how to create better habits. Actually need to be developed. It's just important to start with something small, because if you can find a way to be consistent with a glass of water every day for 7 days and then on through the other 3 challenges for 31 days, we're going to learn a lot about what it's going to take for us to make smaller and bigger changes to our lifestyle when it comes to our general health and fitness. So the challenge for this week is to have a glass of water every day at a moment of your choosing. Try to keep it at the same day and the same moment every day as we go through this challenge. And as we go through that challenge, try to note when you forget, what happens when you forget, and also how difficult or hard it is to actually be consistent with something like this over the course of 7 days. set of cleans, left, right. One more set of the squats. Quiet Monday morning, friends. Yeah, see. If you're referring to the 20 kilos, then, sir or lady, I commend you for knowing your kettlebells. Indeed. And we've indeed had a 20-piece bucket for breakfast. And thank you for watching and making me smile this morning. Okay, so that's a 20 kilo. And now if you would go back, we're changing the squat slightly, by the way. If you go back to my earlier videos from December, so that is about 11 months ago, where I'm starting off with kettlebells, 8 kilos, 12 kilos, basically just squatting and deadlifting and getting to know kettlebells. Now we're working with 12 and 16 kilos. This goes to show the kind of cool progress you can make with regular and consistent kettlebell training. So, here we go. And by the way, you know, as I work on this channel, I've been putting in the hours. It's been so much fun connecting with all of you through chat and people who've subscribed to watch videos. So I really appreciate you going by, saying hi in the chat, and you know, sharing bits of your journey with me. We go. All right. Now, because we're going to do a bit of overhead work, we switch to the 12 kilo. We're going to go left, right for 2 sets. We're going to do swing clean, squat, press. Swing clean, squat, press. On the left, weight up for the minute. Move on to 5 on the right, and that felt pretty good. So sometimes people wonder if kettlebell is also cardio training. And I can tell you from personal experience, that your general conditioning will improve significantly once you start working with kettlebells. Start light, get to heavier weights over time, over and over again, and you'll start to see that you will be better able to go up flights of stairs, do some kind of endurance exercises. You need to be mindful of the order here. First the squat, then the press. Less talking, more training, Toby. So anyway, are you training alone? Are you just looking for some inspiration, for conversation, just for chat? Whatever it is, I hope you're doing well where you are today, because I'm about to finish up the workout and the training. One more time on the left, one more time on the right, to keep this going, and then we're done. So friends, for those of you who are watching, you're new to my channel, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old, training to live an active, self-sufficient, adventurous life. Not only now, but well into my 50s, 60s, 70s. In order to do that, I try to lead an adventurous, I like to lead an active life. I train strength and conditioning and mobility in different ways every day here on the channel. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and subscribe, and we can be on this journey together. Final set on the right hand side. I think health and fitness are very personal, and I think we all have different goals, maybe at different stages in our life. So wherever it is that you are, just remember, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And it's the person we are today that's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. So be kind, because there are enough people out there who want to put us down. We don't have to do it to ourselves. Let's lift ourselves up. And as I always say, the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. So if you subscribe to my channel, I might see you tomorrow for tomorrow's live stream. How often do you change your routine? You have a certain amount of sets, or do you do sets? Time limit. That's a really great question, Ramo 2022. I try to stick to a similar routine or goal for about 3 to 4 weeks. Give my body time to adapt and to build up the volume over time. And then I switch. So I went from strength the last 3-4 weeks to now more conditioning for the next 3 to 4 weeks. But I think the emphasis is more on how close I'm getting to failure, or how I try to push myself by keeping my heart rate up, if that makes sense. But with kettlebells, I usually do an every minute on the minute for conditioning, and generally I keep to an every minute on the minute. But when we're doing strength, heavier weights, fewer repetitions. So I hope that answers your question. Like I just said, the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. And you can come to Amsterdam anytime. I hear it's a great place to visit, Josie. And thanks for dropping by in the chat. And like I always say, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. Ramo 2022. Take care. See you around.